Ta-da! One entrance. How we doing? Put a little post up the other day, just thinking about things, got a good response. I fancied doing a video, vlog, whatever you want to call it. Because I've got a few inboxes as far as, let's take an example. You know, I'm no expert, I'm no medic. I'm just somebody that's been diagnosed with a serious mental health condition. I'm starting to go off this mental health, yeah? You know, back in Egyptian times, let's say this right. Some of the plus points of having, now I just stick to what I've been diagnosed with, yeah? So I don't know too much about bipolar, ADHD, schizophrenia, things like that. So I've just concentrated on getting myself better and learning as much as I possibly can about BPD and working out and understanding why I fuck up and I do what I do or done what I've done, or to stop me doing what I used to do by learning so much about my condition. Obviously, the mental health spectrum crosses BPD, bipolar, and it can all, you know, as far as that goes. Years ago, hundreds and thousands of years ago, perhaps people with a different way of thinking or a different way of behaving or a different way of how they conduct themselves, would have been gods. They'd have been worshipped, they'd have been looked up to, they'd have been put on a pedestal and, wow. And then hundreds of years later, perhaps would have been looked at as wicked, wizards, witches, stoned, beat to death, that sort of thing. And then we go on and on and on, and now we've labelled it as mental health. That's how I see it, because there's so many plus points on the way I am, as far as the way I think. It makes me a bit of a Rain Man, naturally intelligent. It's nice, isn't it? Having a sixth sense can cause a bit of ag sometimes. What would be an example? One that comes to mind that freaked me out. A friend of mine lives out in the Caribbean, or used to, God bless him. And not a close friend, a friend, but we live in a small town, so everybody knows each other. So it would be a friend. For no reason whatsoever, bearing in mind that he wasn't on social media, and we used to go into a nightclub. There's only one nightclub in this town. Well, then, when nightclubs were nightclubs, and you had to dress up and things like that. And for some reason, which I still to this day, I mean, it's a few years ago now, I'm guessing, I hope I don't get this wrong, I'm offending, but 8 years ago, perhaps? 8, 6, 7, 8 years ago. For some reason whatsoever, I've got one photo of myself in this nightclub and with this mate. And I posted it for no reason whatsoever. Apart from and the next day, it passed away. So I have a massive extrasensory perception. I suppose that's just like where you're thinking of music and the bloke next door sings it, or you haven't seen somebody for ages and next thing you know, they're the person that passed you in the street. But so is that I don't know, I'm not fucking clairvoyant or that sort of, not into that. But yeah, sometimes that sort of thing spooks me out a bit, and it can happen a lot, and I don't talk about it a lot and I don't dwell on it because, like, I'm not too sure whether it's a load of bollocks, but I know it ain't, but I don't want to come across like Mystic Mega, who the fuck's he think he is. So, I think I've said this before. I've said a lot of times. To me, working out. No, let's start that bit again. The mind is a powerful thing. Yeah, the mind is a powerful thing. Massive. If you can get your mind right and control your mind and deal with your mind, you can deal with your mental illness. This is my personal opinion. Yeah. So from, I don't know, bacteria to fish, from fish to amphibians to reptiles to birds, and then monkeys, they perhaps all had minds. But then when it comes then to human beings, we're then given a mind, that makes us the head of whatever it's called, food chain, or head of the species, or head of evolution, or whatever you want to call it. We're given a mind then that can make us turn into, build houses and fly to the moon and do this and do that. But it just causes us ag. It's the mind. The mind. A reptile perhaps has a mind and looks at a leaf and says, I need to eat it. But that's about it. Our minds now, as human beings, is all over the place. Thinking about this, thinking about that, overthinking, thinking we're mind readers, thinking we know how people think and about us, and overthinking and restless nights and all the rest of it. It's an absolute nightmare. If there wouldn't be mental illness if we had minds of a monkey or a bloody porcupine or something like that. But because our mind has evolved to make us do these incredible things, to planes and trains and cars, and it's caused us. I don't know. Does it make any sense? So if you can control your mind, or get your mind right, and try not to overthink, and try not to think that you know what other people are thinking and what they're saying, or actually not caring about it, things like that. If you can just get your mind right, it's a massive thing. Not just with mental illness, but in life, relationships. Relationships. You can't stop somebody doing what they're going to do. If a partner wants to cheat, you can't stop them from doing that. If somebody wants to leave you, obviously it's a massive thing with BPD, because, we are so, it can kill us. It can. It really can. It can. But that's, if you then work out why, why do I have BPD? Well, as anybody knows, it's all to do with your childhood trauma. 50%. With me, it's 50%. This is how I see myself. 50% is childhood trauma. 50% is genetics, which took them a long time to prove to me. So, once you realise that, and that you're not bad, that you're not, at the age of 4, 5, 6, if you're seeing things you shouldn't be seeing, it's not your fault, is it? It's not your fucking fault. So once you've worked out, why you're in the position where you're at, or why, you do the things you do, or why you feel, self-harm, suicidal, why you drink too much, if you take drugs, if you self-medicate, if you push people away, if you say the most rancid, horrible, despicable things to people that you actually care about. Once you work that out and understand, then you've got the chance for recovery. You've got the possibility then to, not constantly beat yourself up, not constantly, you know, oh, I need more tablets for this. I need to take this for that. BPD is not depression. You cannot take tablets for BPD. Yeah, you can take tablets for depression. You can take, you know, you can take mood stabilizers, so you're not like. Whoosh. I used to take loads. I don't take any now. I do something else. Go to the gym. I do other things. But so it's all doable. Yeah, but you know, remember, anybody who's suffering with BPD, it's emotional, it's psychological. You know, it's. I don't see how tablets will lift you. Depression is a serious, you know, serious illness. But I don't think I've ever suffered with depression. Never. Mine has always been emotional, the fear of abandonment, the fear of loneliness, the fear of not being loved, validation, and yeah, that thing that a child needed, because most people with BPD never had any nurture as children. And unfortunately, that stays with you, whether you like it or not, as an adult. That them tantrums like toddlers have, unless you get on top of your BPD, that will carry on. Hopefully, I'm 51 now, 52 this year, from what I read and look at, it hopefully gets better with age. It's certainly got better for me because I've learned so much about BPD and try to put things in place for me to be not in a position where I would ever think of self-harming, suicidal thoughts, getting smashed, doing shitloads of narcotics and being an absolute nuisance and destroying everything that I want in life in front of me. Even that though, even little small things I just done there, yeah? Even if you wake up shit, yeah? If you just wake up, even if you have to force yourself to smile, yeah? Even if you have to force yourself to smile, just that. If you keep doing it, you will feel better. It's a fact. It's all them little attention to details. If you really want to beat your fucking mental illness and get on top of it and like deal with it and change shit up, these are the things you got to do. It's no good messaging me saying what tablets you on or how'd you do it and all the rest of it. Sounds sorry, that sounds. You know, you got to do it. You got to do it yourself. But also, you know, like the last post, there's loads of help out there, and you will have to knock doors, and people will, and you'll get frustrated, and doctors won't answer, and COVID, and you know, it's a nightmare. So, but that's the same. You know, it's your own determination. You can either like, you know, worries me card, or the rest of it. It's not worries me card, I suppose. It's a serious fucking mental condition. There's no two ways about it. But you can still live a real cracking life and change it up. You might have to deal with people that, you know, how are you? Are you okay? Gets on my nerves when they do that. But even that I can laugh about now, you know, because I know I've cracked it. I fucking know it. Not taking it blasé or being, but, you know, I won't feel that pain again. I won't feel that absolute horrid, oh, I can't be on my own, or I can't cope with life on my own. I can't do things on my own or anything like that, because I know I can, because I do, and I do. And it's great. It's really good. It's the first time in my life, the past year, that I've lived on my own. It's mad. You know what I mean? First time in my life that I've lived on my own. Because I even rented a flat once for 12 months in a town near me, and I stayed there 5 nights because I just couldn't, because I a fear of abandonment and like being, oh no, not again. So yeah, so I just do a little vlog for you. So the mind is a powerful thing, yeah. If you can get in control of your mind, yeah, and obviously like, you know, it's going to be a lot easier when you're not pissed or off your rocker or doped up or anything. You've got to give yourself the best chance. If you don't, it's just going to carry on. Just carry on. If you're not giving, if you can honestly say that, you know, you're not getting better, and you're not doing everything possible. Well, actually, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. If you was doing everything possible you can possibly can, and you're not getting better, I wouldn't believe it. Because there must, or you're missing something out. There'd be something you're not quite doing, the rest of it. I'm not saying like life's perfect for anyone, is it? But like, I'm not like not repeating what I used to do and shit like that. You can look back on my page and both my ears are intact. You know what I mean? There's no, you know what I'm saying. And I'm sober, which is nice. So, yeah. So tablets and things like that, I don't see how that helps BPD. It's more for, I'm not a medic, I'm not a doctor, but that's how I see it. BPD to me is all about my emotions, all about the way I think, the way I conduct myself, the way, about my triggers, you know, overthinking, thinking that I'm a mind reader, and like the way somebody's tonality, the way they said hello to me, if they say it three times, they go, hello, hello, all right, I can read 28,000 different things into that. Yeah. Social media as well, you know, I've calmed that down, just like, and also like, again, you know, cut off all the negativity, hanging around with dickheads, just cut them out, hanging around with, you know, is it basic? There's a lot of basic stuff you can do. There's a lot of basic stuff. And then there's a few finer points, which, you know, I recently finished my counselling, things like that. Yeah, so wasn't going to do any more videos, things like that. But I suppose I got good response to just that picture the other day. So I just thought I'd check in and like, everything's all okay. Or everything's going in the right way, shall we say. And I hope you're all well. And I hope I haven't come across as a bit up my own arse and like, oh, look at it, get him, oh yeah. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to give you positivity that, you know, I've been in mental institutions, yeah. I've come to losing my life, you know, a few times, really, really close, yeah. I've self-harmed, yeah. Nobody's fucking drunk more than me, nobody's took more drugs than me, nobody's been more of a menace than me, nobody's done some horrendous thing than me. Perhaps, hopefully not quite that, but like, you know, and just been an absolute wreck. You know, just reckless, and then but still, you know, so just trying to give encouragement and trying to, you know, reassure anybody out there struggling, or you know, you really have, you know, there's help out there, but you've got to want it yourself. You really got to want it yourself. You got really, truthfully, you got to look yourself in the mirror. Fuck everybody else, yeah. Got to look yourself in the mirror and say, look, do I want this fucking lonely nuisance life where everyone like, or, you know, you don't want that, do you? There's a difference between Jack the Lad character, which I thought I was, to looking back now where I was so destructive, police in the papers, and just a total fucking embarrassment. And also and not do myself any favours. Ended up with nothing. I ain't got a lot now. I've had it all and I'm happy, really happy. I got a bit. All right. I hope that makes sense. It wasn't scripted or anything like that. I just felt obliged. And that's it. Thank you. Oh yeah, light nights. Nice, aren't they?